Libra, wear these 5 power colors on May 20th, 21st, and 23rd to attract wealth in 2025. If you are watching this video, then please pause for a moment and understand something deeply. This is not an ordinary video. This is a cosmic code, unlocked at precisely the right moment, in the right energy, and on the right frequency. A message not meant for everyone, but only for those souls who share a special connection with the universe. If you are a Libra, or if you carry Libra energy in your natal chart, then the next 3 days, May 20th, 21st, and 23rd, are not just ordinary calendar dates. They are energetic gateways. They are hidden portals where the universe does not reward the strongest, but instead blesses those who have learned to stop forcing and instead choose the true colors of their soul. So sit down. Make yourself a warm cup of tea. Silence the noise around you. Because what you're about to receive doesn't require logic to understand, it requires the heart to remember. There is one profound truth that both astrology and traditional Buddhist philosophy agree on: every great transformation in life does not begin with action, but with a shift in consciousness. In astrology, Libra is an air sign, symbolizing harmony, balance, fairness, and beauty. But in the deeper layers of Buddhist understanding, Libra's energy is known as pratyaya samutpada, the law of dependent origination, meaning that every outcome you have ever received began with one small choice, one timely action, or one pure intention. And did you know that sometimes, just one right color worn at the exact moment of celestial alignment can change the entire financial trajectory of a year? That is why these 3 days, May 20th, 21st, and 23rd of 2025, are called the 3 days of prosperity. They have been chosen specifically for you, not because you need more than others, but because you have already given so much. You have kept the balance for too long. You have mastered patience so well that now the universe wants to return to you a form of abundance reserved only for souls who have learned how to love even when they've received nothing in return. Astrologically, this is the period when Venus, the ruling planet of Libra, enters a rare alignment, touching the 2nd, 6th, and 12th houses of your chart. These houses represent wealth, good karma, and spiritual liberation. This means that if you live fully during these 3 days, not in haste, but in stillness, you could open a new life chapter where abundance flows not from struggle, but like fruit falling naturally from a ripe tree. But how exactly do you live fully during these days? The answer, perhaps surprisingly, lies in color. In Buddhist philosophy, every color is not just a reflection of light, but a karmic frequency. When you wear the right color, you begin to flow with the natural current of your destiny. You're not forcing fate, you're returning to the most abundant and awakened version of yourself. And when you combine the right color, worn on the right day, with a simple but meaningful ritual, the stream of prosperous energy begins to redirect itself toward you. You don't need to understand it all. You don't need to analyze. You only need to feel. If something inside your heart is beginning to stir, then please stay with me until the end of this message. Because in just a few minutes, you will receive the 3 most sacred colors for Libra in the year 2025, along with step-by-step guidance to transform each day into a personal ritual that summons wealth and deep alignment. And if you feel ready to walk this path, please click subscribe to this channel, Buddhist Daily Wisdom, because each week you will receive messages not meant for the masses, but for those who are truly awakening to their soul's unique journey. Like this video as a way of signaling to the universe, I am ready to receive what has always belonged to me. And if you are a Libra, or if you know a Libra friend struggling with money, career, or direction, share this video with them. Because sometimes, just one color may be enough to awaken the light they forgot was already inside them. Finally, if you truly resonate with what is being spoken, not just through words, but through energy, leave a comment below. You are not here by accident. You are being called into alignment. I am aligned with wealth through color, as a signal sent straight to the center of the universe, declaring that I am ready. I have stepped in, and now I wait to receive. At this moment, I invite you, and all who are watching, to step fully into the first day of Libra's lucky cycle. Here, color is not merely seen with the eyes. It becomes a portal. A key. A force that unlocks your destiny. There are periods in the year that we do not choose. They arrive like soft invitations, silent, gentle, but powerful, sent directly from the universe. And if you are awake enough to listen, if you are soft enough to receive, then these very moments can redraw the entire map of your finances, your purpose, your destiny, and your peace. For Libra, the 3 days, May 20th, May 21st, and May 23rd of the year 2025, are not just dates. They are 3 energetic doorways, secretly activated within your natal chart. They are three small cracks between layers of reality through which golden light can slip, light that holds the power to shake everything you once believed to be permanent. Why are these 3 days special? The answer does not lie in conventional logic. It is born from the harmony between celestial alignments and the spiritual path that you, a Libra, are walking. In the global astrological chart of 2025, Venus, the ruling planet of Libra, finds herself in a rare, exalted position. She forms an exact trine with Jupiter, the planet of expansion, prosperity, and blessings. This alignment does more than favor relationships, creativity, and emotional balance. It opens a corridor of abundance flowing through the houses of wealth, self-worth, and karmic return. But to truly grasp the weight of this moment, we must go deeper, into the intersection of Buddhism and astrology, where stars are no longer just distant objects in the sky, but symbols of karmic flow and soul contracts. In Buddhism, there is a sacred concept known as ripened causes. It means that some seeds of merit you planted long ago, perhaps lifetimes ago, will only bloom when all the right conditions align. And these 3 days, May 20th, 21st, and 23rd, are the exact convergence of those conditions, heaven, earth, and mind in unified alignment. On May 20th, the sun is still in its final degrees of Taurus, the sign of material wealth, possessions, and true value. At the same time, the moon moves through Leo, awakening Libra's 11th house, the realm of collective dreams, future visions, and unseen support systems. When the stabilizing light of the sun meets the radiant, emotional moon, Libra is invited into a dream of abundance that doesn't come from force, but from divine timing and connectedness. You are being aligned, not with effort, but with flow. This is the foundation. But the turning point lies in Venus herself. At this exact moment, Venus travels through Gemini, forming a sextile with Mars and a trine with Jupiter. This rare configuration does not just awaken Libra's natural charm, beauty, and inner worth, it magnifies it. It amplifies it. It sends a signal through the heavens that your time has come. In modern astrology, this is known as a wealth window. But in Buddhist philosophy, it is called awakened causal insight, a moment when inner wisdom and outer conditions merge. You no longer need to chase your blessings. They begin to chase you. In one meditative vision, the mystic Baba Vanga once whispered words that seemed to come from outside of time itself. There will be 3 days in May when the souls born under the sign of the scales will be bathed in golden light. A karmic grace. Those who dare to stand still in their true color will no longer need to seek money, for money will begin to seek them. On May 21st, the sun officially leaves Taurus and enters Gemini, ushering in a new wave of movement, communication, and personal expansion. At the same time, the moon moves into Virgo, illuminating Libra's 12th house, the domain of karma, hidden patterns, and subconscious beliefs that silently shape your financial life. This day is not a time for external action, but for internal purification. In Buddhist tradition, this is the perfect moment to release old karmas through mindfulness and sacred color. As the Buddha once said, you are not punished for your anger. You are punished by your anger. The same is true for scarcity. You are not punished for lack. You are punished by the silent beliefs that hold you in it. On May 21st, the stars invite you to see these beliefs, feel them rise, and gently dissolve them. Wear the right color, sit in quiet stillness, and let go of what no longer belongs in your energetic field. For it is only with empty hands that we can fully receive the gifts of heaven. There is nothing in this world that causes people to wander more than clinging to unspoken illusions. And nothing that makes them wealthier than a mind that has become light, free, unattached, and clear. And then comes May the 23rd. The final day. And also the most powerful. On this day, the universe pulls back the curtain. Venus, your ruling planet, enters into direct dialogue with Saturn through a perfect trine, forming a seal of long-term stability for any decision you choose to make. Simultaneously, the moon enters Libra, touching your very sun. This means that every single action you take on this day, every thought, every intention, every ritual, leaves a direct imprint on your financial cycle for the next 6 months. This is no longer just a passing opportunity. This is a formal invitation from the universe. A question whispered directly to your soul. Do you dare to believe that you are already enough? Do you dare to stop striving, and instead simply show up, in the right color, allowing your blessings to arrive? In a moment of profound clarity, when asked about Libra's future, Baba Vanga once closed her eyes, touched a piece of white cloth, and spoke only one sentence. A garment in the right color, worn under the right light for 3 days, will become a bridge guiding Libra through the financial storm, without having to carry the weight. When the three layers of astrology, the sun, the moon, and Venus, are in full agreement, your role is not to rush out and chase luck. It is to turn inward, to tune your vibration to the matching frequency, and to let luck come to you. Color is the code, an encrypted message hidden in light. Like sacred sutras never written in words, it whispers what only your soul can hear. This is not a vague promise. This is karma in motion, operating beneath the ancient wisdom of the stars. And if you are still here, if your heart is still quietly vibrating with something soft and deep, then I urge you, do not let these 3 days pass by unnoticed. Prepare the right colors, the right rituals, the right offerings. Libra never needs to be loud to be wealthy. You only need the right timing, the right vibration, and the right stillness. And if you truly want your soul not to miss this once-in-a-decade karmic gate, then subscribe now to the Buddhist Daily Wisdom channel as a sign of commitment, not to a belief system, but to your own alignment. Say to yourself, I choose to flow with the rhythm of the universe, not against it. Like this video if you're ready to transmute old, stagnant energy into a flowing stream of divine blessings. Let your action become a signal, a message to the universe that you are ready to open the cosmic door of wealth. And share this video with a Libra friend, not because they need to hear it, but because every time you share sacred timing with someone else, you multiply your own good karma. Do not let these 3 days pass like any others. Because once you realize that destiny does not need to be forced, but only gently unlocked with light and stillness, you will also realize, you were never short on money. Never short on opportunity. You were only missing the right moment and the right color your soul had always been waiting for. And now, if you are truly ready, I invite you and all the viewers to step into the first day, where light blue will unlock the first gate in this sacred 3-day ritual, bringing Libra back into its original frequency of abundance. There is a quiet truth that those who rush through life often fail to realize. Luck does not come when we try harder. It comes when we step into the right frequency. And May the 20th, the first day of Libra's golden 3-day portal, is exactly such a gateway. There is no noise. No grand entrance. It only opens to those who are light enough to walk through and quiet enough to hear the calling of their soul. And if you are still here, listening, breathing, feeling, then perhaps you have already begun to hear that call. May the 20th is not a day for striving. It is a day for returning. Returning to something you once were, something pure, something soft, something truly you, before the world taught you to protect yourself with a mask called trying. In the astrological sky, today marks a delicate point of resonance. The sun is in its final degrees of Taurus, and the moon sweeps across Leo. Together, they form a soft yet potent wave, one that activates Libra's 11th house, the house of distant dreams, forgotten wishes, and the things you once longed for but abandoned in the name of practicality. Let this be your return. A quiet re-entry into the version of you that does not chase, but receives. That does not beg, but radiates. That does not hope, but remembers. But the magic does not lie in the planets alone. It lives in Venus, your ruling planet, currently gliding through the constellation of Gemini, forming a beautiful, harmonious aspect with Jupiter. This is not merely a meeting of beauty and luck. It is a sacred dialogue between inner elegance and outer blessings. A quiet reminder that you do not need to run. You do not need to chase. You only need to show up, in the right color, with the right energy, and destiny will begin to move around you. And the very first color in this sacred 3-day cycle is soft blue. The color of the first breath of morning light breaking through a misty sky. The color of wordless forgiveness. The color of a heart that knows how to accept without needing a reason. This soft blue is not just a color. It is a healing field. A karmic frequency. The first light that touches the throat chakra, the place where your inner truth meets your outer voice. In Buddhist teachings, blue represents the mind of compassion and wisdom, not blind emotion, but loving kindness accompanied by clarity. Compassion that understands. The kind that knows sometimes, forgiving yourself is the highest act of courage. And when you wrap yourself in this blue, you are declaring to the universe, I no longer wish to control. I choose to trust the flow. So, on the morning of May the 20th, before you speak a single word to anyone, before you reach for your phone, before your feet even touch the floor, touch that blue. It could be a soft shirt. A scarf around your neck. A ribbon loosely tied to your wrist. Or simply a small stone resting near your heart. Place your right hand gently on your throat chakra, right where your neck meets your chest. Close your eyes. And whisper softly into the silence. I speak softly. I trust deeply. I receive freely. You don't need to understand these words with your mind. Just let your heart resonate with their sound. And allow the energy in your throat to finally move. Because maybe, for many years, you have held back your desires. You've swallowed rejection. You've stayed quiet to keep the peace. And that silence may have quietly sealed off the flow of wealth that was always meant to come to you. Soft blue is the color of self-forgiveness. The color of speaking truth without harm. The color of unlocking confidence, trust, and the grace to let go. In a rare and deep state of meditation, Baba Vanga once spoke of this shade. She said, "There will come a day when those who have stayed silent too long will wear soft blue. No one will notice. But their energy will become a magnet, drawing back the wealth they once thought was lost forever." And you, dear Libra, are the soul she spoke of. You do not need attention. You do not need to prove anything. You only need to choose the right frequency, and stand quietly in the light, at the right moment. Once you are dressed in soft blue, you may perform a simple yet powerful ritual to align yourself from within. Write down something you have never dared to say aloud. A truth you've hidden, not because it was wrong, but because you feared no one would understand. Write it without editing. Without trying to make it pretty or poetic. Just write. Then fold that piece of paper, and place it under a glass of clear water. Let the morning light pass through it. Wait, do not drink the water right away. Allow the paper to rest beneath the light for at least 1 hour. Let the energy shift. When you finally drink, imagine you are drinking in light, and exhaling every shadow that no longer serves you. This is not superstition. This is a practice of compassionate self-healing. The Buddha once said, "No one can save you but yourself." But he also taught that the moment you stop judging yourself, the universe begins to rise and carry you forward. So if in this moment you feel warmth in your chest, or your eyes begin to sting with unspoken emotion, let it pass through. Do not resist. Do not hide it. Because the moment you allow the true river of emotion to flow freely within you, is the exact moment when the flow of wealth begins. Quietly at first. Then, like a flood. And if you have done this ritual, or even simply shown up with full presence, wrapped in soft blue, leave a comment below. I return to the flow. Soft. Steady. Abundant. Every word you type becomes a petition, a spiritual message, sent directly to the energetic center of the universe. And every time you share this video, you extend that current of prosperity to another soul, and multiply your own good karma. And here's the secret, blessings don't divide when shared, they multiply. So, like this video as a way of telling the universe, I deserve more. And I no longer need anyone's permission to receive it. Subscribe to Buddhist Daily Wisdom if you believe that each week, the universe whispers silent messages, and you only need to be still enough to hear them. And if you know a Libra, whether a friend, an ex, or someone who's been silent for far too long, send them this video. No explanation needed. Just say, maybe you need to see this color. That alone is enough. Because soft blue isn't the color of the already successful, it's the color of the returning. Returning to self. And from that place, all true success begins. There are days that ask nothing of you. Days that simply ask you to stop. Gently. Quietly. No need to understand. No need to try. Only to softly release all that you've been carrying for far too long, so long, in fact, that you've forgotten it no longer belongs to you. And today, May the 21st, is one of those days. If May the 20th was the first doorway, where you began to return to the flow, then the 21st is the moment you shed what blocks the light from moving deeper within. Because you cannot truly receive prosperity if your heart is still entangled in the things you've left unforgiven. The wounds you never faced. The quiet sobs that were never allowed to become sound. Today's astrology reveals a strange, yet compassionate movement. The sun has just left Taurus and entered Gemini, opening a field of communication, transformation, and mental clarity. At the same time, the moon moves into Virgo, casting its light directly into Libra's 12th house, the house of karma, fears, and subconscious programming you may not even realize is silently steering your life. In classical astrology, this is known as a day of karmic cleansing. But in Buddhist philosophy, it is the day when consciousness enters the third level of meditative awareness, a place with no more grasping, no more resistance. Only a compassion vast enough to finally meet yourself. The Buddha once said, there is no shackle heavier than guilt. And no liberation faster than inner forgiveness. That is why today, light pink becomes Libra's guiding light. Not loud like red. Not distant like white. Light pink is where gentleness and the will to be reborn meet. It is the color of souls who have fallen. Who have lost faith. Yet quietly gathered light and rose again, not for anyone else, but because they knew they deserved peace. Light pink is the color of metta, unconditional loving kindness. In Buddhist philosophy, when you wear this color today, you are not simply dressing. You are performing a sacred act. Lifting yourself out of the sentence you once imposed on yourself. Unlocking an inner door. One where punishment does not exist, only tender presence and acceptance. Choose a light pink item, a shirt, a scarf, a piece of silk, or even a small thread around your wrist. But let it touch your skin. Because color doesn't need your intellect. It only needs your feeling. Then, in the early morning, find a quiet place. A spot where soft sunlight can gently pour in. Sit down. Place your left hand on your heart, and your right hand on your lower belly, the two energy centers that store both pain and hope. Close your eyes and whisper gently. I no longer carry what is not mine. I forgive. I soften. I receive. You do not need to feel anything right away. Let these words fall like seeds into the soil of your being. They will bloom when you've stopped forcing them to. Next, write down one thing you still blame yourself for. Maybe it was a wrong decision. A broken love. A word you regret. Write it down, without judgment. Then fold the paper, and place it either under a glass of clean water, or beside a white candle. Do not pray. Do not overthink. Just leave it there, and go on with your day. Magic does not need your supervision. It only needs your stillness. By noon, return. Look at the paper again. If you feel ready, tear it up, or burn it, as a symbolic act that you have chosen forgiveness. Not because you are weak, but because you no longer wish to imprison yourself in old wounds. Baba Vanga, speaking once through tears during a vision, said, on the second day of the light cycle, the soul born under the sign of the scales will cry through the eyes, but release through the heart. If they wear pink and let go at the right moment, misfortune will soften like mist, and wealth will find them again like water returning to the sea. So today, if a quiet sadness arises, without name, without reason, do not push it away. That is your soul releasing old, forgotten layers of energy. Stay with it. Then breathe out, slow and deep, as if you're finally letting go of a nameless burden you've carried for half your life. And if you have come this far, if you've done the ritual, or simply allowed yourself to be present in light pink, then comment below. I forgive. I open. I am ready. Say it not just as a sentence, but as a vow whispered to the universe. Like this video if you understand that sometimes, just one color, worn at the right time, is enough to turn the page of your financial story. Subscribe to Buddhist Daily Wisdom if you believe that every color you wear, every energy you choose, has the power to reset the frequency of prosperity in your personal field. And if someone in your life comes to mind, a quiet Libra, a friend stuck in financial pain, send this video to them. Because light pink isn't for the strong. It's for those who have shattered, and still choose to live gently. This is not a magical ritual. It is an act of kindness to yourself. A small, quiet whisper to the universe. I have let go so that I may receive. And it is in that moment, when you release what is old and clinging, that you will see wealth begin to flow to you. Not because you deserve more than anyone else, but because you have finally stopped punishing yourself. If May the 20th was the moment you returned to the flow, and May the 21st the moment you released what once held you back, then May the 23rd is the point of transformation. It is the day you are no longer who you used to be. No longer a soul tangled in inner conflict. No longer someone searching for light through worn-out paths. But a Libra who has stepped through the gateway, carrying new light, new peace, and a reborn frequency of abundance. Today, something in the air is shifting. The moon has entered Libra, touching your solar point in the birth chart. This means that everything you do today is no longer just a personal act, but a soul-level declaration to the universe. At the same time, Venus, your ruling planet, forms a perfect trine with Saturn, the planet of time, structure, and destiny. This is not random. This is the universe's silent confirmation. You are ready. And now, it is time to receive. but not to receive the way you once thought. Not through force. Not through noise. Not through effort. But through stillness. Through lightness. Through alignment. When you no longer chase, when you no longer grasp, blessings come to you on their own. And to receive them today, you will step into the final sacred shade. Ivory white or golden cream. Two colors that may seem simple, yet hold the deepest wisdom a seasoned soul can reach. White, not as emptiness, but as radiant emptiness. A space where nothing old clings, and nothing new is forced. Golden cream, not as dazzling as gold, nor as light as sunlight. But as a filtered glow, like a temple lamp still burning after a stormy night. In Buddhist philosophy, ivory white represents Tam Gyak, the awakened mind. A state of still clarity, free from grasping, free from attachment. The Buddha once said, when one carries nothing, one becomes light. And when light, they fly without wings. And that is exactly what you need today. Not to do more. Not to think more. Only to become lighter, so that abundance can find you. The moment you put on ivory white or golden cream, you are telling the universe, I have paused. I have cleared the slate. And I welcome goodness anew, with an empty, open heart. Baba Vanga, in a vision where she saw someone clothed in white, sitting by the ocean, once said, on the third day, if the soul of the scale stands still in white, the wind will stop, the sea will still, and blessings will return like birds to their home. So this morning, choose something in ivory white or golden cream. It may be a soft shirt. A shawl. A piece of white cloth laid gently upon a small altar. Even a blank sheet of paper is enough. Sit where natural light can touch you. Place your left hand on the crown of your head, and your right hand on your lower belly, the sacred centers of wisdom and intuition. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply. And whisper. I am open. I am empty. I am ready. Stay in this quiet state for 3 minutes. Expect nothing. Chase no feeling. Just breathe, as if you are being born again, into the same body, but with a completely new frequency. Then take your white paper, and write this sentence with full presence. Today I begin again, and I carry nothing old with me. Place the paper under a glass of water, and let sunlight shine through it. By sunset, drink the water slowly, as a quiet ritual of rebirth. There is no need for prayer. Silence is the deepest form of prayer. And if at any point today you feel lighter, if someone unexpectedly helps you, offers you an opportunity, or even just smiles at you in sincerity, know this, your frequency has shifted. And if you have completed today's ritual, or simply worn ivory white or golden cream with full presence, comment below. I begin again. Wealthy. Calm. And light. It is not just a sentence. It is a frequency, a vibration that your consciousness is now transmitting into the fabric of the universe. And when enough awakened souls send the same signal, a web of abundance begins forming around all of us. Like this video as a sacred affirmation to the universe that you no longer allow the past to define the present. Subscribe to Buddhist Daily Wisdom, so each week, you may receive the right energy, the right color, and the right frequency at exactly the right time. And if you know someone tired, a Libra who feels they've tried everything and still feel lack, send them this video. Because maybe, just one color can save a soul standing quietly at the edge of giving up. And above all, remember this. You do not need to be radiant to be rich. You only need the right frequency, and the courage to stand still in your own light. Ivory white, not to erase the past, but to step beyond it with new, clean, unattached light. Golden cream, not to shine outward, but to glow from within, like a temple lamp untouched by worldly winds. And today, if you have truly stepped into the final ritual of this sacred 3-day cycle, then let me say this with reverence. Congratulations. You have completed one of the deepest soul transformations that Libra can undertake. And from this moment forward, wealth will no longer be something you seek. It will begin to seek you, gently, steadily, and with the kind of grace that never leaves again. How to perform the 3-day wealth ritual, May 20th, 21st, and 23rd, for Libra. There are rituals that require no incense. No bells. No temples. No master. Because everything your soul needs has already been placed within you. May 20th, 21st, and 23rd are not random calendar dates. They are 3 cosmic portals, silent alignments that open only once a year. And if you know how to walk into them with presence, you will never again need to chase after luck. Because luck will begin to find you. Libra, the sign of harmony, justice, and beauty, carries a unique destiny. You do not attract wealth through force. You do not hustle your way into abundance. You attract it through resonance. When you vibrate at the right frequency, everything you need will return to you like birds to their nest. Not with noise. Not with haste. But gently. Surely. Without resistance. In Buddhism, there is an ancient principle known as 3 times together. A sacred state where body, speech, and mind enter stillness and clarity. When all 3 align, you do not need to wish. You do not need to plead. What you need will naturally arise. And this 3-day ritual is exactly that. A silent activation of the merit that has been sleeping within you. Not ornate. Not complicated. But subtle enough to awaken the entire field of light within your soul. On May the 20th, as the sun takes its final steps in Taurus and the moon passes through Leo, you are invited to return to the flow. No more resisting it. No more forcing. No more carrying what is not yours. Wash your face with cool water. Let your still wet hands gently touch your throat and your chest. Then, wear soft blue, a shirt, a scarf, or even a simple thread wrapped around your wrist. Close your eyes and silently repeat in your heart. I return to the flow. I trust. I receive. Write down 3 truths you've kept inside but never dared to say, things you've hidden, things you swallowed. Fold the paper and place it under a clear glass of water or beside a white candle. Don't revisit it. Let the morning light do the rest. At noon, drink the water as if you are drinking a personal forgiveness. And if you feel just a bit lighter that day, don't be surprised. You're being cleansed on a level deeper than the body. On May the 21st, as the sun leaves Taurus and enters Gemini, and the moon moves into Virgo, karmic currents rise to be transmuted. This is not a day to do more, it is a day to stop doing. Choose light pink, a soft shirt, a silk ribbon, or even a pressed petal in a book, and find a quiet spot with gentle light. Sit down. Place your left hand on your heart, and your right hand on your lower belly. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly and deeply. Whisper. I forgive myself. I'm worthy of all that I once refused to receive. Then write down 1 thing you've blamed yourself for, 1 thing you forgive yourself for today, and 1 thing you vow to welcome with calmness. Fold the paper, place it beside your water or candle, and let the light pass through it for at least 1 hour. At the end of the day, if you're ready, burn or tear the paper. And if a tear falls, let it fall. It is not weakness. It is the old shell dissolving. It is the first sign that karma is beginning to move. On May the 23rd, the final day of the ritual, as the moon enters Libra and Venus, your ruling planet, forms a perfect trine with Saturn, this is no longer just a ritual. It is rebirth. Choose ivory white or golden cream, colors that are not dazzling, not attention-seeking, but powerful enough to awaken the depth of a soul that has matured. Sit in natural light. Place your left hand on the top of your head, where your crown chakra opens to the universe, and your right hand on your lower belly, where life's root energy resides. Close your eyes and whisper. I am empty of all that no longer serves me. I am ready. Then write on a white sheet of paper. Today I begin again. I walk forward light, wealthy, and free. Place the paper under a glass of clean water. Let the light shine through it for at least 1 hour. Then drink the water, not to gain anything, but to affirm. You are empty enough to receive light without distortion. In meditation, emptiness is the highest state. And in astrology, today is the day you can touch your pure essence, not through thoughts, not through feelings, but through presence. If you have walked through all 3 days, know this. You are no longer in the same cycle. You have changed from the inside. And now, everything outside you will begin to shift to reflect it. Comment below. I have completed the Libra ritual. I walk in light and wealth. To send a signal to the universe that you have crossed the threshold. Like this video if you want luck to recognize you more quickly. Subscribe to Buddhist Daily Wisdom, so every month, you can access simple but profound rituals that shift the karmic pattern of an entire lifetime. And if you know a Libra who is tired, lost, or anxious about money, love, or the future, send them this video. Say nothing. They will understand, if they are ready. Because sometimes, just one person stepping into the right 3 days can change their destiny, and the destiny of everyone they love, forever. And maybe, that person is you. If you are still here. If you have listened with your heart, not just your eyes. Then I know one thing for sure. You are no longer the person you were before entering this journey. 3 days. 3 colors. 3 rituals. They may have seemed simple on the surface, but in truth, they were 3 sacred keys, quietly unlocking 3 long-closed doors within Libra's consciousness. Not doors that lead to the outside world, but doors that open inward. To the places where your blessings had once been blocked. By fear. By unspoken words. By the quiet corrosion of guilt. That had long been eating away at the dream of abundance. You were always worthy of. And if today, you have stood tall in the soft blue of return. Gently released through the pink of compassion. And continued forward in the pearl white of rebirth. Then pause now, just for a moment. Not to understand. But to feel. To feel that something very still has begun to sprout inside of you. A stillness not everyone possesses. A stillness the universe will recognize. And begin rearranging everything around you. To match the new frequency you are now holding. Libra was never born to fight. Not to compete. Not to throw itself into battles chasing after light. You were born to elevate everything you touch. Through harmony. Through inner beauty. Through the delicate presence. That only those who have walked through pain can carry with grace. And precisely because you have moved through unseen undercurrents. The blessings meant for you are not fleeting rewards. They are lasting. Sustainable. And they arrive not when you try harder. But when you stop. When you sit down. And when you choose to truly listen. In astrology, these past 3 days mark the convergence of Venus. The planet of value, love, money, and beauty. With the planets of structure, of spirit, and of destiny. And in Buddhist teaching, this is the time when layers of energy become unlocked. When karma is seen, karma can be transformed. And when you chose to be present for those 3 days. You did not simply perform a ritual. You struck a bell deep within your subconscious. Where the doors of wealth, health, and peace begin to open. From a consciousness that has already shifted. I do not say this to encourage you. I say this because it is already happening within you. And if you wish to confirm to the universe that you are ready to move forward, please leave a comment. I choose to walk forward with grace, wealth, and light. Every comment is not just a sentence. It is a commitment. A calling from the frequency you have just established. To let the next currents begin. Like this video as a thank you to yourself. For not giving up. For staying until the very end. For walking through all 3 days without turning back. Click subscribe to the channel Buddhist Daily Wisdom. Because this is not the final video. This is only the first doorway. There are more rituals. More colors. More sacred cycles. That your soul will need in order to sustain the vibration of prosperity. Not just in wealth. But in deep peace. And if you know someone, maybe another Libra. Or simply someone standing quietly at the threshold of transformation. Send them this video. Not because you have to. But because blessings never come from holding back. They come from sharing. At the right time. With the right person. From the right place in the heart. Baba Vanga once said. One right color, if shared on the right day. Will not only save one person. It will shift the destiny of 3 generations. You may not believe that. But if you're still here now. Perhaps you are beginning to feel it might be true. And if over these past 3 days. You felt something lighten. Something brighten. Or simply breathe more easily. Then please know. The ritual is complete. The old cycle has ended. And a new cycle has already begun to move. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to prove anything. You only need to hold this frequency long enough. And everything good will begin to flow toward you. Naturally. Worthily. Sacredly. And now, if there is only one thing left to do. Place your hand over your heart. Close your eyes. And whisper to yourself. I have returned. And I am ready. That is all the universe has ever been waiting for. And the rest, the universe will take care of.